Cordia. It's just Cordia.
He doesn't go by Y.
No.
What was it?
YBN.
YBN. He was just Cordia. Yeah, he removed himself from all of them, right? Are they family or were they just like a group?
They were just a
They were
group.
just friends? Okay. I just be feeling like all these people are family because of the Migos. But she's pregnant, Naomi. Osaka is pregnant. And, I mean, for me, that news caught me off guard because I feel like it's like, I don't know. I feel like everybody always says they feel like this generation is so it's this and that. I'm like, but I think every generation was like this. We see it more because we have social media. But
that's literally it.
I just don't like. I really don't. Marriage is not everything. And I know not everybody cares to get married, but that's like, for me, that's just what I'm doing. So I just value that getting married first and then having your kids. And it's like we're seeing a lot of kids pop up, but I don't see a lot of people making that commitment, that marriage commitment. It's kind of like, okay. Like, especially when marriage is not everything, first of all. Second of all, when you have money, it could be even more messy. But also when you have money, I feel like it's like what's the hold up? You know, like when we're like regular people like us, you might be like, all right, I'm holding back to get a nicer ring or holding back so we can save for a wedding. When you are, a pretty decent rapper, probably make good money, decent money. I mean, he's not like no big sellout like rapper, like selling out stadiums, but
He might be.
he makes good money.
I'm not familiar.
And then there's Naomi. Obviously, she's making a lot more than him. It was like, what's the hold up? But like, so quick to have a baby. But people think it might have not been planned, which it might have not been.
It usually isn't.
Yeah. But the thing that I had an issue with, like, all that aside, who cares? The main reason I had an issue with is a lot of women, women always got to find a reason to hate on men. Naomi got trapped. He trapped her because he knows that she's like at a peak in her career and has so much potential, and he trapped her.
Let me look in the camera for this one. Actually, let me pull up some statistics for you. Just give me a moment. You can keep talking.
No, like, it's just annoying. Like, trapped. I'm like, the people saying these things, I'm like, you must not be having sex, because sex is a two-way street. You telling yourself right now, because there's no way as a woman you get trapped. Like, the only way you get trapped is if you think a guy has a condom on, he takes it off, and you don't see that he took it off.
Yes.
But even if you didn't see that he took it off, you still got to come in a person. You are a world star tennis player. Plan Bs are $50. You can't get trapped. Either get on birth control, one, or buy a Plan B.
Yeah. Let me cook.
Or don't have sex.
Let me cook.
Like, to blame one person for conceiving a child is like the most ignorant, dumbest, stupidest thing you could say. And I'm like, just over like the whole men hating, blaming men for everything. Like, you guys are miserable and nauseating and weird. Like, please, I'm tired of seeing it. That shit pisses me off. Like, I don't want to be cursing like that, but I'm like, let's not do that. You must not be getting your back cracked with that dumb statement, because as a woman, we have more control, in my opinion, on preventing a pregnancy.
All of the control.
It really is in our hands.
Unless you get raped, you have all of the control.
Yes, and even if you get raped, you could go get a Plan B. You could still prevent that from happening.
Yeah, so there's about 16
Unless
different...
I don't want to be insensitive to people who don't have the resources or the money. Of course, and rape obviously is a serious thing, but it's like, come on, woman, we have more control to get pregnant. A man can't trap you.
Correct.
Even if he comes in you and you didn't want him to do that, you could go buy a Plan B.
Correct. Based on this, it says there's about 16 different types of contraception. Number one, don't have sex. It's not that difficult, actually. It really isn't. It's not that deep. Honestly, if you're not having a kid, it's perfectly fine.
I mean, we say it's not that deep because we have sex a lot. So we come from a mindset that we could go without it.
But that's not true, though. It's really not that serious.
These people be out here fiending because they don't really got nobody. So.
Right, but that's fine. But get over it. But don't complain then, because that's it. Like,
exactly.
Just don't fucking complain when you're pregnant. Then. Like, okay. 16 different types, right? So nobody's trapping anybody. Like, it's a mutual decision. If you get pregnant, you got pregnant on purpose. There's no mistakes. There's no nothing.
The whole trapped mindset is like the dumbest thing to me. Like, nobody can get trapped. A man can't get trapped. A woman can't get trapped. Well, a man can't get. Well, a man can't get trapped.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't come at her. Wear a condom.
Everybody has a choice for everything.
Yeah.
That's bottom line. Nobody trapped nobody.
Yeah.
That was their mutual decision. You can say it's a mistake all you want, but there's 16 different types, if not more, of ways to prevent it.
Yep.
You cannot do it.
You could just not do it.
You know that getting pregnant is gonna sideline you from your main source of income.
And just a step real quick with her, people need to also stop putting the Serena Williams dreams on her. I don't think this woman even wants that for herself.
Right,
like
she might not be.
They're putting her such on this pedestal, and that's why she had, I think, these mental breakdowns, because she doesn't even want to be on this pedestal that people are trying to put her on. Like, I think she just wanted to play tennis and she was good at it. She doesn't even want this fame, in my opinion.
Right, and I don't know why they just seen somebody with dark skin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Whoa.
But she's mixed.
She doesn't have dark skin, but they see somebody with some
Brown.
color in them, and they want to throw all these things on her. But it's interesting that they don't do the same thing for Coco Gauff.
Exactly. And she's
she's younger.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot younger.
But to me, she resembles the right. Williams sisters more than
Naomi does.
Yeah. So it's like they're putting her on this pedestal, like, oh, you trapped her. Like, this girl probably doesn't even want to do this no more. And I don't think she even wants to play tennis. I don't think she cares.
Yeah, she up now.
She got her money. Like, she's fine.
Money wise, she up now.
Like, you guys need to worry about your life. Like, you don't even, like, it'd be the people on the internet who don't even, like, never gonna make 6 figures in their life. Worry about what Naomi doing. Talking about she's trapped. Like, girl, you better worry about your life and your career. And you're, like, get your life together.
Trap it yourself.
Like, where your man at? You don't even got a man. And you, like...
Yeah.
And I just hate the shitting on men thing. It's like so ignorant. It's so weird. These same people got brothers and dads, and all you do is sit in the internet all day and complain.
And you know what's crazy about that too is that the second you combat that, because there's the extremes, right? Like, there's women that are like that on the extreme level, and what I feel like happened, because I could be wrong though, but basically there's the two extremes. There's the women that are like that, and then there's the men that are like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just like, it's just like the weirdest, like, constant bickering, constant argument on social media.
Yeah.
Of, women are materialistic, or they're this, they're that way, and men,
the
men ain't shit, and all that.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of nonsense. Like, I wish everybody would just shut up.
A bunch of nonsense, a bunch of misery. It's like I just try to figure out when people say these things, like talking about men or talking about women, like, do you not think about the men and women that in your life? Like, does it apply to them too? Like, it's just...
They don't.
What about your male friends? Like...
It's just people don't have common sense. Like, that's the thing. Like, people can't think outside of...
They can't think outside of their own experiences. Like, sorry, you're nobody. We're all nobodies. Nobodies are irrelevant.
But it's not even that. They just can't. People aren't as smart as they think they are. And I'm not up here to sound all high and mighty, but I think I know myself pretty well, and I try to, educate myself on as many things as possible, so I don't sound ignorant when I get on the internet and make certain points. Or I'll simply, if I don't know something, I'll simply say I don't know, as opposed to just saying whatever comes to my mind, because that's what people do, and they sound dumb on the internet. Like, even when I had my Twitter, part of the reason why I deleted it was for that reason, because I don't want to tweet something that I'm feeling in a particular moment that might be incorrect.
Yeah.
And then I get new information 2 weeks from now, but if somebody goes to my Twitter and they see my tweet from 2 weeks ago, they think that that's how I feel. But it's like, no, I gain more information.
I actually just saw a tweet about that too. Like, the whole "this you" trend. Like, someone's like, they actually hate that trend because they're like, you're not allowing people the space to have a change of mindset and growth and develop.
Even with this podcast.
Yeah, even with the podcast, which you can, but to your point, you don't even want to set that up to even
allow somebody to
allow it. Because people are not going to think that smart to be like, all right, give people grace. Like, okay, yeah, you change your mind, evolve. Everybody just wants a Twitter moment, like this you. Like, everybody just wants to sound cool, get retweets so they can feel cool and relevant for a day. Like, just yeah. I'm getting really tired of Twitter. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting tired of every day. Like, it's good to have topics for this podcast, but
yeah, Twitter's dead. Twitter's done.
That tweet really made me mad, but
yeah.
Like,
anyway,
you want to keep reading the?
Nah, we just
the 16
different types.
I mean, if you out there, you actually out here, you should know these things. But yeah. I swear that I feel like the people that be making these tweets be like femcells, the female incel. Because I'm like, you have to be like, you can't be getting no meat with a dumb mindset like that. I'm sorry. In my opinion. You don't got enough life experience thinking that you could get trapped as a woman, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just shying because I've missed a month of sex since September 2014, so I'm speaking from a very comfortable with me. What does that guy do with anything?
I don't know.
No, but I'm being dead ass. Like,
Brandon, if you're watching this, what's up?
Oh my God, stop. I forgot he watching our podcast. No, but like, like incels, like they be saying stupid stuff because they don't really know.
Yeah, they just be chatting.
And that's how I feel about women who just be saying stupid stuff. Like, they don't really know.
Or,
I mean,
or they do. They just. It's just the.
Or they do know, and they just want to have. They just want to hate men.
They need, because we talked about this before. People need to have the concept of a foil, right? Because
it has to be somebody else's fault that you got pregnant.
Right, because I could make $1 million, right, next year. I don't make $1 million right now, but you could. But I could. But the difference is between somebody with that mindset and my mindset is I know why I'm not making $1 million, and I fully accept that, and I'll keep trying to do what I do until I get there. But everybody else is gonna be like, oh, the government, taxes,
inflation,
education's a scam.
Yeah, my degree. They told me I was gonna make money. Nobody told you was gonna make money in a degree.
Men need to pay the bills.
Arts.
Yeah, men need to pay. It's always an excuse.
And dance. Nobody told you was gonna make money.
Everybody needs to have a foil and a reason for why they're not doing whatever, and it just happens to usually be men are the reason, or it's men's societal structure that's the reason why they can't accomplish certain things. It's always an excuse for something, but you don't see men make the same excuse.
They don't, and like as a woman, you gotta really sit there and look yourself in the mirror and say these things. Tell me, with the brain cells that you have, how does it make sense? He trapped her, like she wasn't having her legs spread open and let them pump and dump. Let her leak it out. Had to get up and go to the bathroom, pee. Let it leak while you walk into the toilet. She did not get trapped. She was probably enjoying and having the time of her life. She could have easily went to CVS the next morning and she didn't want no baby. Girls love, that's the thing too. Girls love to be like, I live life on the edge. I love getting nutted in.
So that baby
and then the baby comes and now you're trapped.
Like, so that baby show up and he not at the baby shower.
I'm about to go on a huge unfollowing spree. I swear to God, I can't keep seeing these tweets on my timeline.
So the father ain't showing up at the baby shower. But bottom line, congrats to them. I'm sure it'll be a beautiful baby.
Their relationship, they've been together for a minute. So I think, I heard kids change things, but I'm rooting for them. Like I wish, like I said, I'm all for getting married the traditional route, but I'm not gonna hate. Like you guys sound like haters. I'm not gonna hate.
Yeah, she'll be back 2024, and I think she'll be perfectly fine. She's young. I think she'll snap back and go back to what she was doing. So congrats to them, and for everybody else that tried to make this something larger than it needed to be.
Yeah,
throwing accusations on people.
Yeah, like even with the Rihanna thing, like her and ASAP were at an event recently or an award show, and everybody's still like, I still don't get it, with like by him. Like
pop it out your mouth.
Yeah, or like the one tweet, everybody's been shitting on her though, which is good. She was like, I miss Rihanna with that Arab billionaire. Like she should have never left away. Nah, this tweet was mad funny. I think like she was like something about like I miss her with the billionaire, and everybody's like, the one guy was like, Rihanna's not dating for hunger or something like that. Like how girls are like, look, I wish Rihanna stayed with her Arab billionaire, and then he said, you think Rihanna dates for hunger like you? Like
y'all date for whoever's paying for your Applebee's
meal. Like let's not act like ASAP is like poor too. Like this man got more money than you and everybody your family combined will ever have in life. Like please sit down. It'd be like the brokest people sitting in their mom's house tweeting these things. Like the delusion is crazy. You gotta tell your parents where you gotta go. When you want to go out, you gotta tell them where you're going. Like you live at home, you're not doing anything great in life. You talking about ASAP, and Rihanna could do better.
This is people chatting because I saw this clip and I feel bad because I'm not familiar with the gentleman or the woman, but I saw the reply to a comment, so I didn't see the original TikTok where the person made the comment. I only saw the guy's response. But he called his wife a gold digger, right? So then he proceeded to go on. It wasn't a rant, but I think he went on for about 2 minutes explaining exactly who his wife is. And while I believe he makes a lot more money than her, what does that mean, right? Because if I make 100 million, but my wife still makes 20 million, she still makes 20 million. Just because the discrepancy is something doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And he proceeded to show. He walked around the house. He said, she wrote this number one, this number one, this number one, this number one. Then he had to go find the rest of them in the house. He didn't know where they were. He found a Grammy. He found more number ones. Bill, the room was actually lined in platinum plaques. Bunch of number one albums. So he had to sit there and explain. So while he probably still does have more money than her, that doesn't take away from who
like who she is.
Yeah, who she is.
And that's the thing too, is like I think like women have like this weird, and I hate that I always sound like a pick me on this podcast, but it's just because it's easier to talk about my own. But they have this like mindset where it's like men always have to be like the breadwinner, men have to do better. Like that might not always be the case. Like so that person not a good partner to you and still loving, and they're still, that's the thing, they're still successful. That's the part. That's like if I were like a CFO, right, and you were like still like a $300,000, $200,000 earning analyst somewhere. That's still two very successful people doing way better than the average person. Like you're trying to just tear him down. Your man got to clock in. Your man's hourly. Like what are you talking about him? Your man's scam. You talking about Bank of America or whatever they be doing. Your man's a scammer with gun charges and got to clock in and gotta report to somebody. Gotta be on the clock. Like, please, if you don't, let's get to a salary first. Like, let's get to a salary. Let's get to a salary that's over a certain amount, because that's like these girls really. It's just like delusion. Like, and like it's just crazy. Like if you have a problem with A$AP and with his colorism, any of that other stuff, fine. If you want to say, okay, maybe I don't think Rihanna should date him because of some of the things he said, fine. But when you start talking about success, and you're a nobody who's unsuccessful with a man that's unsuccessful, like. The delusion is insane. Like the call is coming from inside of the house. Like no, but for real, that's why I just don't like people be pick me. But I can speak from a place, or at least that my life is together. Like you guys are speaking from a place of literally underachieving in life. Like I said, you got to go to work and hit buttons. I don't gotta do that. I just gotta open my laptop and I lay in bed all day. You gotta click buttons. And that people, don't job shame. It's not job shame, but you're job shaming. You're job shaming A$AP, so I'm job shaming you. Like, you'll never reach his success or his money. Like, I don't think people realize, like, it's, like, not easy to maintain relevancy.
Especially not dropping music. And when he's doing any of these shows.
And people could say, he's probably still relevant because of Rihanna.
I promise
Rihanna
you.
hasn't dropped music either,
hold up. I promise you that none of the young kids that look up to A$AP Rocky are listening to him because of Rihanna.
And literally, Pesos is like making his way around again because everybody's talking about. I think somebody made a comment saying nobody was wearing Rick Owens till Cardi, and then everybody was like, Raph Simon and Rick Owens usually what I'm dressed in.
Come on now.
So that's why the song's kind of coming back, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, let's give like him his flowers. Like you guys are just weird. Like I don't really agree with A$AP's comments either, but the lipstick thing. But I'm not gonna hate on him man's success, a black man's success, because of some comments I didn't agree with. Like, were you like? And that's the thing too. Some guy called out a lot of women are hypocrites because they get so mad about the colorism stuff. But this guy dug up old tweets from like the 2011 to 2014 Twitter phase where. They was going crazy about dark skinned men. Everybody loved light skinned men. Snapback tattoo era. Mm-hmm. I'm like, let's not forget. You guys were disparaging dark skinned black men on the internet every day and fiending for light skins until
that's a fact.
Until it became cringe to be light skinned, and then it became a joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then it was funny. Then we're clowning them for doing the filters and the lips and stuff like that.
But before it was like, light skin Snapchat, snapbacks and tattoos, like. Yeah. Oh my god, like light skin pose so cute. Like I hate dark skin men. Yeah. Like they be trying to fool us like we're not like first of all that's
like
why
we weren't there.
Yeah, like first of all we was there. Second of all, I'm a woman. Like I've seen what you guys say. I've heard what you guys said from my woman friends. I've seen what you guys say in the group chat. Like let's stop acting like we're holding it out. Like it's just dumb. It's so dumb. And that's the one thing I can never do is criticizing somebody who is doing way better than me. Like that's literally like it has to be textbook insanity. Like check into the word. Yeah, it's like insane. Yeah, and people were like was saying stuff about this too. Like underneath here, but that's another thing too. I'm like they've been like together, like literally like they've been cool, at least friends for over 10 years. Like this is an old picture from 2013, and it's just like. What did she see in him? Like clearly, if they've been in each other's lives that long, like something. Like What do you see in that man that works at AutoZone? Like, that's what I want to know.
That part. Why is it always AutoZone? They can't work nowhere else? Why is it, you used to throw out PetSmart. I ain't never seen a man working at PetSmart. I honestly.
That's why I bring up AutoZone.
I don't know if I've ever seen a man at PetSmart.